Welcome to Reading 28 of Jonnie Fazoolie and the Transfinite Reality Engine. I am your host and author, Mookie Spitz. And in this section, we are striking out. Jonnie starts every bogus startup with hope for a golden goose, like Gary Dahl's short-lived but highly lucrative pet rock craze of the mid-70s. Maybe this time is the Fazoolie mantra. His dream is to pitch Fazoolie's own Scrub Daddy or Squatty Potty on Shark Tank, blow everyone's mind, and make $100 million selling useless garbage to tasteless morons. Part of his problem is competing with legit startup and R&D teams, many sparked by ideas far more clever than his, booster stages of actual talent and real work, rocketing them to success. Even though he's obsessed by what other people think, Jonnie trusts his own intuition. That creates the delusion, at least for himself, that he knows better. If he can see it in his mind's eye, he can sell it. Since anything is possible when he doesn't know what he's talking about, getting the thing to work is irrelevant, and in this case, an impediment. The trick is convincing himself to believe. Learning early on that people respond to emotion and pay little attention to what's actually being said, Jonnie exudes the most confidence when he knows the least about what he's hustling. So rather than do what he knows is necessary, get his story straight and figure out what the hell he's talking about, he pursues the Fazoolie path of least resistance and laziest effort. That consists of immediately picking up the phone and bloviating until he gets a result. That the result is rejection, frequently escalating into abuse, inspires him to bloviate more. For bonus points, he enjoys annoying everyone along the way. An attention deficit attention junkie, Jonnie loves hearing himself speak, luxuriating in other people bullshitting about his bullshit. Pitching in front of 5 people or 50, public speaking thrills and terrifies him. Being the center of everyone's attention is his narcotic, an addiction designed to hide his glaring weaknesses. Having already scammed his top-tier investors with bogus products and undeliverable services, he needs fresh meat. Taking things to a whole new level, Jonnie knows he needs new targets. Often out of his mind, Jonnie never operates too far from top of mind. So he pulls out business cards collected from his recent disastrous but inspirational stay at Karma Jack's in Cancun. He leaps to the top of the stack, loses patience, then dives in at random. Not bothering to filter the prospects, be selective, or make any sense with his meandering sales pitch, he gets rolling. Feet back on his desk, unlit cigar back in his mouth, black cat with white mittens purring on a bookshelf. Jonnie makes a few calls. He rings the most recent and least qualified contacts. Many ignore him, and those bothering to listen are irritated within seconds. Some are triggered, hurling insults. Jonnie doesn't care, high on the fumes of hearing himself speak. Imagine being able to jump universes, pitches Jonnie to the adult film actress. Teleporting anywhere within the infinite infiniverse. Endless erotic possibilities abound. Let's slay. Are you kidding me? Munches the Brazilian star of bed and screen, devouring a bag of chips, licking her fingers. After 6 hours of fucking on camera, the last thing I want to do is fuck. The Taiwanese billionaire refuses to take his calls, referring Fazoolie to a Japanese vending machine CEO who specializes in dispensing flying fish soup, lettuce balls, and soiled panties. No, 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 shouts Jonnie, hardly understanding a word. We can't place the device in supermarkets and nail salons. Are you ready to buy? Preferred shares first round closes in 12 hours. The cosmologists and particle physicists who resuscitated him also remain disengaged. A self replicating recycling bag? Meh. Self sharpening pencil? Maybe. Leaping dimensions? No. You might think I'm full of shit, snarks Johnny, but my people have been talking to your people at DARPA. I'd love to tell you all about it, but afterwards I'd have to kill you and then myself. Desperate for any validation he can get at this point, he calls Mamacita back. Hijo de puta, she shouts, Johnny having canceled his credit card payment to her. Tonto del culo. Smelling the coffee, continuing to spill it, Johnny calms down for a nanosecond and recalibrates. Cold calls not doing the trick, Fazoolie has to start from scratch and turn the heat back up. Sometimes all he's needed to close a deal is a shiny brochure or cool website. Pretty slide decks go a long way. Fancy lunches at trendy restaurants lubricated by gallons of booze are magic. For this bad boy, though, Johnny realizes big guns will be needed. Whomever he hires will have to help him build this paper tiger as they try to tame it, fold it enough to fool rich folks it can fly. Bassine's words echo inside his enormous, naturally blonde-topped head. Find someone who wrote a paper, then start a company. Her smart strategy aligns with Fazoolie's own cynical approach. The more legitimate his insane ideas appear, the higher the chance investors invest. The best way to fake being legit is hiring real experts to do the work. Inspire Johnny Google's top talent. With near zero effort, Johnny finds the gifted yet obscure Professor Amaranth Casey Floyd through a search that includes the keywords multiverse, teleportation, and DEI hire. Most of the researchers' published works are too technically detailed for Johnny to understand or care about, but their sheer volume impresses him. A more speculative work catches his eye. Floyd's archive paper, Synthetic Wormholes and the Inflationary Multiverse, gets his attention because the title is cool. He browses the abstract, downloads the PDF, but never reads it. Emailing the research and engineering professors at Wisconsin EDU address, he writes only a subject line. Hi, let's make a shit ton of money. Down? Bring lunch. Fridays are work from home if I like you. Will I get my own lab and equipment? Responds the prof. Too credulous and hopeful to acknowledge the obvious scam, giving even the likes of a Jonnie Fazoolie the benefit of infinite doubts. Of course, lies Johnny, not considering such statements as falsehoods in the land of truth. Rather, a few enthusiastic embellishments of a project that's 100% bullshit anyway. In every good hustle, the first to be hustled are his fellow hustlers. So Johnny insists they meet in person, ASAP, and invites the prof down to his shitty little cluttered Chicago office. A resident research scientist at UW Hamilton, yet eager to explore the potential freedom of a privately funded project, the prof agrees to drive down to the Windy City next weekend. Their only communication during the preceding days is when Johnny accidentally adds the prof to his fantasy football signal thread. The invite considered a challenge in statistical analysis. Within an hour of receipt, Dr. Floyd texts back everyone's win percentages across championship betting, runner-up, third place, high score, points overall, and best regular season record. The affront garners praise or triggers irritation from those either loving or hating a smartass. Johnny bumps the prof from the list, pretends it never happened, then sidebars the experts for picks. Not for 247 zeptoseconds do either of them speculate that their imminent and inevitable partnership will set in motion a series of deterministic yet unpredictable events that save reality itself. Hey, texts Johnny after the signal debacle. On your way down here, can you pick me up one of those gaudy yellow Formation Green Bay Packer triangular cheesehead hats? I love that shit. That's 140 miles in the opposite direction, responds the professor, who feels manipulated and marginalized before even being interviewed. Isn't it available on Amazon Prime? Take your time, he responds, embedding a sunglass wearing, smiley face, bourbon in a glass, and thumbs up emoji string. But get to my office as soon as you can before it's too late. What an asshole, thinks the professor, knowing his type and hating him already. Yet somehow the Fazoolie charm again creeps out of the miasma of his shittiness, drawing another in. Only this time, the tide will turn. Dr. Floyd has never met anyone like Jonnie Fazoolie, just as our hero, always assuming he knows enough to be dangerous, soon discovers the real deal. Achoo! Sneezes Johnny, wheezing and scratching. He reaches into a baggie, then sprinkles catnip on BS's nose, making the damn cat sneeze for a change. Touche, little furry fucker. Meow! Caterwauls Bernie, getting buzzed. Gotcha! Thanks again for listening. Next episode, guess what? We meet the professor and hilarity ensues.